Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. Today I've got a special stream because today I am joined by Emil Larsen, the designer of Rogue Angels, which is a new board game that's upcoming. Emil is going to launch that on Kickstarter, planned for September, I believe, this year, if all goes well. And Rogue Angels is a cooperative sci-fi narrative dungeon crawler where you and a party of friends or solo, if you want to, play through several scenarios. It's a huge overarching story with different branching paths that you can take depending on the outcome of these scenarios you play. And today we're going to play a session on Tabletop Simulator so you can see just what kind of game it is and how it plays. And there is also a link in the description below on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll also post it in the chat here with a link to the Rogue Angels website. And there you can find a link to the Kickstarter so you can sign up and get a notification when it goes live. There is also a link to Emil's Discord, so you can also ask questions there and keep up to date with all the development. So, Emil, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me yet again. So it's a returning event, and it's
Yes,
nice.
yes. This is, I think, our fourth playthrough
Mm,
that we did over the course of almost 2 years, I believe. So you've
yeah.
been working on this quite a long time. But it is a huge game. It's gonna have a big book of scenarios. I've been watching. I've been also reading your designer journals, which are currently being posted on Board Game Geek, which is very exciting. So we can read about the development itself. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Cool.
ready. I hope you're ready as well. I hope the viewers are ready. So let me just switch
Yeah.
to
Awesome.
the game. So here it is. This is a tabletop simulator where we set up the game Rogue Angels, and we've picked a scenario that is well, all scenarios are different, but it's not the follow-up from what we were playing, so we're taking a bit of a detour. Wanted to show
Mhm.
you something new, something different, and we also picked new characters this time, which we did kind of upgrade because by now, if you're this far into the story, you would have several upgrades already for your character. So that means these colored spots over here get colored in. The white lines, you can color them in with a black pen. And this will be dry erase in the final version,
Mhm.
Emil,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah. So you can take the character for another spin
Right.
if you like it so much. So yeah,
Yeah,
you can.
absolutely. So as you progress through the story, your character gets stronger and stronger, and for every line that's colored in, you get a token in the corresponding color, which you can later use to boost certain skills as you play. So
Mhm.
every
Yeah.
character also has these player boards, which you may have already seen in previous playthroughs. We have focus that lets you reroll dice. We have shields, which is of course protection from damage, and you have wounds. And also in the middle, we have certain special abilities. And as you progress, you might also unlock new special abilities, and you can stick those on the card as well. You'll have two extra spots for more skills. And we
Mhm.
have the cards in our hands. So every character has its own set of cards, and you can play them, and you'll see how that works. There is a cooldown system, which is pretty neat. So, Emil, let's get started. What can you tell us about the scenario? Do we start reading right
Yeah.
away, or do you want to do
Yeah.
the
First off,
introduction?
yeah, first I just want to kind of like lead people into because we are actually in the second chapter of the campaign.
Okay.
So the first chapter is on 228 pages, and we played several of those missions. I
Hmm.
think we played the first three or four missions,
Yep.
and now I kind of like jumped us into the second chapter just to get something new and something that also people who may have played or demo had had it demoed haven't seen before. So, and there's currently 3 chapters, so we're almost on 500 pages. And I am like it's a huge narrative arc, like a hero's journey. So I have planned for like 5 or 6 chapters, depending on how I see the last thing go. But yeah, in this one we are in chapter 2, and that's because in the first chapter we escaped kind of the pirates and other robots that are after us, and we then met up with the assembly that are kind of like the government of the galactic civilization, and they are of course not really interested in working with us. We have to take some low paid jobs to get involved so we can start looking for these reavers that are these robots that are after has been after us and others.
Right.
So this is one of those jobs. And yeah, all the missions are different and doesn't present it. They all present players with different choices and different scenarios and different twist on the rules within the framework of the game. So here's just another example. So and yeah, so if you had unpacked the game on this setup, then you would just start reading on the introduction or the briefing of the mission, and then just put things on the map as we go. I have cheated a bit and put things already there, but
Exactly, to save a bit of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But normally in the book you would get a layout of the game board with all the
You will see that
tokens
in
and characters and
a minute.
standees on them. Now, before I start explaining that, in the final version of the game, I believe you have planned to make actual miniatures of the heroes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so you can see if you are looking at the 2 heroes, one of them actually have a miniature
look at
here.
that. Cool.
So if you want, I can play with that one instead. You can see how that kind of looks. So that is
cool.
the miniature of the standee here.
Yeah, nice. A little bit of a preview there.
Yeah.
Yes, and of course all the other characters, the enemies, the NPCs will be standees because they have all kinds of information on the actual standees, so you can see how strong they are and how much damage they do, which is a lot more convenient than having separate cards for different miniatures. So, and there's also going to be a lot, so
Yeah,
more cost efficient. All right. So, okay, I'll start reading whenever you say so, Emil.
yeah. So you just read it like it's like cutscenes, right? So you have there might be some things like in the beginning here it says that you're not allowed to take this mission if the dots, and those are legacy dots, like memory dots for the campaign, if they have already been painted. So you cannot revisit a mission.
Right.
Like when a mission is done, that's your experience and that's where you're going. So, to prevent people from it. So in that sense, you will never be able to go back to the same dungeon. You have to live with with the consequences of your either success or failure, right?
Right.
So, but then, yeah, everything in orange is kind of like a setup or something happening, and then you have the cutscene of what the people are talking about and saying to each other, right?
Right. Exactly. Yep. All right. So shall I start?
Sure. You go ahead. Yeah.
All right. And also welcome in Rosie, another viewer in chat. Okay. So mission brief. As you settle into a seat on the bridge, you open a channel to Tessa's personal device. Tessa Barrett is on the comm, says, "Good day, Commander. Thank you for taking on this task. I was worried you might find Border Patrol a bit too boring. Unfortunately, most of us aren't in a position to be picky about what we do. For this mission, you must meet up with the Border Patrols in the system Sia, located at the border of Ursinian space. The Ursinians have continuously requested more resources from the Assembly in order to handle the flood of refugees caused by the conflict between the Neomorphs and the Leviathans. This should be a fairly calm mission, and Thresia is only a short trip from here. See you after the assignment, Commander." After a 14 hours flight, you enter the bridge just as Camriel starts the transition from faster than light to normal space. Camriel is there in person. There we go. I'll hail the border patrols so you can ask them how we should proceed. We also have Akaquir or Asakir.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. Also on the comm, greetings, Commander. It's been brought to my attention that your team will be helping us patrol the border and uphold our sovereignty for the next 7 rotations. Glad to have you here. I'll make sure my crew transmit identification notes, refugee quotas, patrol routes, and our current rules of engagement. In a couple of hours, we'll withdraw the inner patrol circles and perform some maintenance. Good luck, Commander. After a few hours, the team is all set up and ready to inspect and direct ships as they drop out of FTL. Gabriel again. Attention! We have the first ship on our radar. It's a standard light transport cruiser, minimal crew, carrying goods and livestock, I believe. They've accepted our boarding requests, no questions asked. Get ready to dock and inspect in 10 minutes. Ayeni and Inaru, also in person. A cooperative type. That's almost the first, wouldn't you say? All right, and then when ready, continue to C26 mission layout. All right, so are you? Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's this.
That.
So here's the layout. So that's what Emil already set up. The green dotted line where the team is supposed to be is in the corridor. So we've got 2 characters in this case. You can play up to 4, I believe.
Yeah, 2 to 4. Like, so if you play alone, then you just play 2 characters.
2 characters, right? All right.
Two-handed.
So, yeah, we can see 3 green consoles on the map that are already there. Those are 3D elements as well. We have a couple of radar blips tokens there. And in the top left, we can see our ship that is connected to this cruiser, I believe. That is our ship, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so let's see. The long haul captain meets us in person. Welcome aboard. There, it says abroad. Typo. Welcome aboard, my freighter, Commander.
Noted.
As you can see, we're just passing through with our goods. Nothing special. How's the war going for you? Has the assembly decided to step in yet? Well, it's all just the same if you ask me. We honest folks will also be pushing around large crates for the rich when the war is over. Nothing ever changing that. Anyway, I imagine you're on the clock, so I'll leave you to it. Nothing hidden here, as I said. Oh, Max in the chat as well. Welcome in, welcome in. Ayeni Inara in person says, Roger that, we'd better get to it then. The protocol dictates that we inspect the travel log and navigation system on the bridge. We must also inspect the backup FTL calculator, usually located near the bridge. Last but not least, we must check all rooms designated for storage. So we got some stuff to do here. The mission parameters state that, let's see, if there's a success, we need to successfully interact with the 3 consoles that are on the map already. And we need to inspect the 2 storage rooms. That's the rooms with the question marks in it, I take it. And there are certain triggers and conditions. So non-hostile inspection of consoles, drawing 2 or more white tokens from the bag. That's an interaction mechanism. Do not cancel or reset the system. So that's good. Usually that would be bad. There's a point of interest, I believe. To remove a point of interest, a team member must end their turn adjacent to it. All right. And we're on the clock. Turns spent after the turn token reaches 0 results in every player losing 1 focus.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's no failure condition for this
particular mission.
Which would also just be strange. Like, I mean, how can you fail something that, doesn't have any tension yet? So this is to, for the build-up.
Yes, easy peasy, doesn't it? That sounds so straightforward. Also, welcome in Gen Cam. Welcome to the playthrough of Rogue Angels today with Emil, the designer. All right, so Emil, do you want to start or should I start? What do you want to do?
Yeah, like what would make sense? I think I have the best interaction options. So if I go here, then I could take care of these two, and if you go here,
To
then
that
you could
one.
take care of that one. And depending on how fast we are, we can try to end our turns around here,
Okay,
something like that, right?
sure. Sounds like a plan.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think if I go first, then I can. We'll just do a basic move and move into the bridge.
All right.
Okay, so there are three.
Nice.
Basic.
So you can choose either
I
one.
will need two, and I think I will be standing here. Yeah,
Okay.
get that back on my hand, and then I will use my grid slicer here.
Yeah.
Why not just start out with spending a inspiring token? So by that, it gives me +1 interact. So when I interact with an object for 2, then +1, so that's 3,
Okay.
within 2 squares. And I also have a die on that.
Right.
So I will try to see what I can get. I got a +1,
+1.
so that means +1, +1, so that's 4.
Okay, nice.
I think I will choose to interact with the one furthest away, since I am allowed to interact with one that is 2 away.
Okay.
So
this is
here's the
normally
interaction
an
bag.
actual
Yeah.
bag in the game. It is now a little box in Tabletop Simulator,
Yeah.
and this will have tokens in it in 3 or 4 colors, basically 8 blue, 8 red, 8 purple, and 4 wilds. So Emil is now going to attempt to draw 3 of the same color or one with a
Yeah.
wild. So okay.
Okay, so I got 2 of purple and 2 blue. So right now the odds are the same. So I will just put the purple ones back, and the blue ones stay with this one. So I have now an ongoing interaction with
this
the
console.
that console. And that was my 2 actions. So
Yes.
this one is gone for the rest of the mission. This one moves down because in the end of my turn, once I perform the 2 actions, then every card on my track moves 1 to the left.
Yes.
Because every card that ends out in 0, I get immediately back on my hand.
Exactly. So that's the
And
cooldown system of all your action cards. They all have this number in the top left corner, and that is where you put it on the action track. If one of these slots is already filled, you put it up. And you can also choose to put it up higher if you want the card to be active longer. Sometimes you have cards that have an ongoing effect as long as they are in this cooldown track. So you might take advantage of that. And then they slide after every turn, like Emil said, and eventually you get them back on your hand. So that means that this basic move action has 0. So that is played on the 0 spot and immediately comes back.
Exactly.
All right.
So I flipped my activation token here.
Yep.
So my turn is spent, and I've moved the turn token down from 7 to 6.
Yes.
All right. That leaves it up to you to perform the next.
Yes. Okay. Well, I've got a new character in this playthrough, so I'll have to take a look at what they can do. So we need to go there. So I need to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at least. I have, of course, a basic movement that only lets me move 1, but I get to roll a die, and that can increase my movement. And I also, if I move that, I can't actually show that on screen that well, but it also has a +1 in the bottom left if I spend a yellow token, but I don't know if I want.
Yeah, then you actually get a +1 die. Yeah.
Oh,
that means you can roll 2 dice. Yeah.
Okay. What else do we have? We have an interact card, a basic interaction, which also has a yellow spot that I can upgrade with a +2 movement once.
Yeah. And those you can see those icons are just decals used in Tabletop Simulator, but it would have been stickers. Something stickers you can remove again, right? But stickers that you would have put on the cards depending on what you want to upgrade, because that would be dictated, or you would be you would find it logical to start upgrading your cards depending on your personality. How your personality is shaping up is how you want to use your cards, most efficiently.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, most of these cards, like this one, for example, will have empty slots with a colored border, and then you unlock stickers and you stick them on, and they give you a bonus when you spend one of these color tokens that you have. So that's pretty cool. And I do some cards already have these printed on them, or are all of them empty spaces?
Those that are full color,
Yeah.
you can see they are there from the beginning. So
Okay.
all heroes have some already upgraded equipment.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what this does. This is just a blaster, so I won't need that. I have a dodge and bolt, which gives me 3 dice to roll. And depending on what I roll, it has a base movement of 0, but I could roll up to 6 movement because the dice do have a double movement, 1 in 6 chance for that.
And
and the
the
pluses,
+2, yeah.
+1 and +2
yeah.
also. Yeah, the +2 also works because this is an action, a move action.
Mm.
You may pass through other characters when you move if you have enough moves to land on the other side. So I could do that. And on your turn, you can do 2 actions, so I could always do the basic movement as well, should I need a couple of more spaces. So I think I'll try that. I'll play the dodge and move, which has a number 2, so I need to play that on the number 2 slot here. I get 3 dice, so I'll take these 3 dice and I will roll them. There we go. That is 1. Oh, I'll click that die. So that's 1 double movement that I have. Now I can spend focus to re-roll a die, correct?
That's correct.
So if I want to re-roll both, well, this is a +1, so I mean that's not bad.
1 focus per die per
yes,
reroll.
1 focus per die. So I will spend 1 focus to re-roll this here die. Oh, that wasn't roll. I was grabbing it, so I'll roll again. All right, there we go. That's also a double movement. So that means 4 movement and a +1 to this movement action. So that's 5 movements.
Yep.
So that's good. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can move diagonally. Right. So that's 5. Which means I can now, for my second action at least, use my basic move action, which is standard 1 plus a die. So I'll roll the dice. No, I don't need movements, but maybe I get my focus back, right? There.
No, there are no focus.
Oh, there's no focus on this.
There's shields on it, so if you were damaged, it would make sense. Otherwise, it's like
I'll roll it
in the beginning of the mission, there's definitely some die rolls that you are less interested in, but once you start doing combat, all of them are somewhat viable.
Okay. Well, I got a +1 anyway, so I have a 2 movement, but I'll just put my character here because adjacent is correct, right? I can operate it from one space, either orthogonally or diagonally.
Correct.
But those were my 2 actions. So if we check the play sequence card here, I can end my turn with a free rest action. That means this card comes back to my hand, and this card moves to the left. And then I flip my activation token, indicating that my turn is over. And we decrease the turn token by 1. So that is now on 5.
Yep.
I don't.
And then we would, in between, we would of course check if we had reached our goal of the mission or the mission segment, and we would have enemies would go in between our turns if there were any enemies.
On the board.
I know. It's,
yeah. But currently there are no enemies, so we can just.
So we can flip our tokens back and then decide whether or not I should go or you should actually continue. So there's a.
We can decide,
decision.
I mean, I'm fine with either choice. So, you want me to go first? I'll go first.
Sure. Yep.
So now I need to interact, and I'm trying to get as many interact points as possible because that's the number of tokens I draw from the bag. I have a basic interact, which is just that does a damage, or interact with an object or heal. So this is a very multi useful card, multi-use card. But that's one interaction with a die. So I could get a +1 or a +2. Let's see if I have something else. I do have some tech stuff. So I have a deciphering device which has 2 dice, interact with an adjacent object for a base of 0, but with 2 dice I could get up to 4. And I do still have focus to reroll. This is a basic move. This is my weapon. What's this? This is all damage dealing. This is all damage dealing. Pulse
Yeah,
lightning.
he's pretty offensive. Yeah.
I'm a very offensive character, yeah. And so yeah, I guess I'll use my my decipher device. Now this has a 1 on it, and that spot is taken, so I'll have to put it on slot 2. So I'll put that there. The base is 0, so I'll just take 2 dice. I'll put this one over there, and then take these 2 dice, roll them. There we go. Ooh, that's not very well. That's a +1. So if I definitely want to re-roll that shield. All right, select that. And that's also a +1. So I can interact for 2. I can also spend a yellow token to get another +1.
Only in the beginning.
Oh.
So you have to, before you roll the
Before
dice,
you roll,
because some of those can also grant you dice and stuff, and then it becomes very speculative how people use them. So they have to pour in the resources, roll the dice, and then those are the final resources they have to perform the action.
That makes sense. All right. Well, I'll stick with those 2 then. And also, before I forget, everybody in the chat, if you have any questions about the game, feel free to ask them in the chat. I will read them, and Emil will answer your question. All right, so now I'll draw 2 tokens, correct?
Yeah.
Right, so that is 1 red token, and I have a blue token. Since you were collecting blue, I'll put the blue one back, and I'll keep the red token next to this console. So that was my first action, correct? Right? Because I only played this card. I still have a second action, so I can still do the basic interact. Oh. There we go. And that is a 0 card, so that'll come back in immediately. I can interact for 1, and I can roll another die. It says so 1 die in the middle there. Oh, sorry about that. And okay, I'll select this die. Select that die. Roll it. Come on. Another shield. Oh boy. And how do we get focus back again?
You can, as one of your actions, you can concentrate, and then you would gain 2 focus. There are also cards that can give you focus, and then I have Ayeni. You saw she was talking. She's been talking in some of the cutscenes. She's one of our companions. She's kind of like traveling with us, and I just took her for myself, so that you didn't have to also look at that. And she grants you a bonus for when you are resting damage from your cooldown track. But she can also give a 2 focus to each of us, no matter where we are. So we can do that, once we start actually needing focus more immediately. So.
All right.
Yeah. So focus is one of those resources that I drain from characters during a mission, right? To kind of put on the pressure. So don't expect to have as much when you're done with a mission.
Yeah. All right. Do I want to re-roll this? I only get the 1, right? And I need more, so I'm gonna try and re-roll that for another focus, because I do want to try and get that console. And the shield again. Oh boy. Well, okay. That's too bad. I'll draw. Oh, I'll draw from the bag, please. Another token that is purple, so that's not gonna help me. And I put that back again, right?
Yeah. You could, if like, let's say there were some other red ones out there, and you thought, okay, purple will give me a better chance moving forward. You could exchange the color.
Oh, yeah.
So you can always change
Put
color
that one
during
there.
an interaction if it makes sense. Right now, there's, of course, the same chance if you put the red back and so on.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so this one immediately comes back to my hand. Then this has a cooldown. This has a cooldown, and this also comes back to my hand now. All right, so that, I guess, was my turn. I took my 2 actions. I will flip token. I rested, and the timer.
We're down to 4. Yeah.
Yes, to 4 exactly. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
It's up to
Then
you.
I think I will do. I will probably, since I will get my slicer back next turn, I will just perform 2 interact to basic interact here. Okay, so +1, I can draw 2. That would be for this this terminal,
Yeah.
which I'm standing next to.
Oh, it's a blue one.
That is, of course, not the one I want there. I will play my basic interact again. Get a +1. Let's see if I can be a bit more lucky. There's one. Okay, so at least I drew a purple and a red, so I'll just put the red back, and now I have 2 purples here. But that was my 2 actions, so I will now get my slicer back in hand, which is nice, and I will flip my activation, and we will go to turn 3. Have 3 turns left.
Yep. And we are on the clock, so we do need to hurry.
Yeah. So
no
definitely.
enemies, so nothing happens again so far, so okay.
Maybe I should, since I can finish off those 2, perhaps.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I will do a basic interact on the one closest to me. Would make sense. There is 1 shield, so I will just.
That's a +1.
+1.
So you get to draw 2. Oh, those are
the
ones
there
I
are 2
need.
red ones. That's annoying. Yeah. Okay, but I will then do my slice, and I will try to do it on the other console, I think.
Okay.
I can.
Because that one lets you interact from a couple of spaces.
From a distance, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, within 2.
And I should I just use one of my sure. I will probably be in problem later on, but I will use 1 on this one. So now I have a total of 4. I can draw for this one here. Yeah.
Again, the red ones.
Okay, yeah.
Shuffle that.
And they are randomized, so the bag sends them out random. But I'll just try to draw the last one of the 4 and see. Okay, never mind. But yeah.
Blue one as well. Yeah. So you got 3 blue ones, and that means a success.
Yeah. And now those stay out of the bag. So we have.
That's 1 objective completed.
So, and I move my cards and flip, and we're down to 2 turns.
Oh boy.
So yeah, we might lose a bit of focus, but that was probably the point if I know the designer.
Yep. Well, I think I only have the basic interact card left, correct? Because the rest of my cards are all offensive. So I'll use the basic interact. But since I get that back immediately, I could technically use it twice.
Use again. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So
you could also, if it was very important to get the other one, you could do a rest action and then get the decipher device back and then pull that one. But it is not twice as good as the basic interact, so that would be a waste of your actions.
Yeah. At least with this one, I have a basic 1 success already.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Come on, give me that's a +1 at least. So that's 2 that I have. So that's my first action. I'll draw 2. Come on, 2 reds just like before. No. That's purple.
Yeah,
that's red. Okay, so that's good. This one goes back in the bag. That was my first action. Then I take this one back immediately, so I'll play it again. All right, so I'll just leave it here. I'll roll again. +2. Yes.
Oh,
nice. So that's 3 I get to draw this time. It's 1, 2, and that's a white one. That's good because that's a wild, and I can use that.
Yeah, exactly.
That goes back.
So that means you now have 3 red ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one is also
It's
done.
also success. I get that one back in my hand. Then I get the free rest action. So this one also comes back to my hand. And I flip my token. And that was my turn.
We're down to 1.
Yep, exactly.
We can flip our tokens back. So,
so far, so
I mean, the most optimal would probably be if you could get adjacent to this one.
Yep. 1, 2,
by taking an action now, that means afterwards I would do this one, and then you would have an action to go over here. Because if it's me first and you go here, yeah, then I think you will have an easier time getting. No, it's probably around the same. It doesn't matter much. Yeah.
All right.
So because my basic or my ability here allows me to get +2 movement to my basic actions when I'm far away from my ally. So when I'm more than 2 squares away from my nearest ally, then
that's really good.
I run faster. So
let's check out my special ability is of course a combat thing. Okay. Right. Okay. So then I'll try to get near to that point of interest on the right. Let's see. I'll use the dodge again. So dodge and bolt. That's 3 dice. Okay. I'll move this one here and this one here. And roll. Come on, come on, come on. That's some moves. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just need one more. I do not have. Let's see. No, I don't have anything to boost this card, but I do have the basic move action. But I kind of want to interact as well. So.
Oh, you don't need to interact.
Oh, I don't need to.
You just need to get adjacent to remove a POI. A team member must end their turn adjacent to.
Right. That's what it said in the mission. That's true. So let's see. How many +2s do we have? We have the 2 movement and the +2. So there's a 1 in 3 chance.
6, yeah.
That I can improve on this, but there's also well, there's only a 1 in 6 chance that I make it worse, right?
Yeah,
technically. Yeah. So I'm gonna spend a focus.
Yeah.
And re-roll this die. Come on, come on, come on. It's the same. All right. So okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That does mean I have to use my basic move action still. Otherwise, I would have probably focused. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, to get some focus back. But that lets me move 1. I do get to roll another one. I don't know if that's necessary, but I'll just roll. Let's shield.
Then you get your shields out of your system. So maybe that's. Well, we'll see if that's a good thing.
Well, I'm here now, so I interact with this automatically.
Yeah, you just have to end your turn here, and then it's removed. So.
Oh, it's just removed. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I take this back into my hand. I move this one to the left. Flip my token. But then that means we are
0.
At 0. So now
that means when I start once I've done my turn here, because turns spent after the turn token reaches 0 results in every player losing 1 focus. So once I've spent this turn here, we lose 1 focus each, and then once you spend your turn to get over there, we lose 1 focus each, right?
Okay, but if you're already out of focus, nothing happens.
Just no. So that was not the wrong. I will do my basic interact. There's a movement there. I am not sure that is
not very helpful right now. +1.
I will take 2. Yep, there it is. So. Yep. Okay, now if I could just run like the wind, I could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is not going to happen with my character. There are some that can.
All right, Emil, we've just got a raid by Fractal Mind Mike coming in with a whopping 369 people.
Yay! Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Hey. Awesome. Welcome
nice to
in,
see
Mike.
You guys.
Yeah. Welcome in, Mike. Thank you so much for that huge raid. I hope you're all well. How have you been doing? I've turned off. I think I can try a shout out. But I think I turned it off for the occasion because we're playing a board game with the designer Emil Larsen over here, who has joined us today to play a prototype of his game Rogue Angels, which will be coming to Kickstarter at the end of this year if all goes well, hopefully in September. So let me just try and give you a shout out. I don't know if that works, but I think I turned it off. Yeah. But anyway, Mike, what have you been playing? I'll do the classic Twitch shout out. So at least Fractal Mind Mike, people can click the follow button right there in the chat. And Mike, I did catch a little bit of your stream earlier. That we got a follow as well. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, Sitting Stan. Mike was playing Jill of the Jungle, and you were also playing another game, weren't you? Got plenty of follows today.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Phalanges, for the follow. And Ken is coding as well. Lots of new followers today. Awesome. You played through Jill of the Jungle, complete episode 1. I was gonna say that's quite a bit of a game there. And Solar Winds, but you haven't finished it yet. Yeah, I'll have to check that in the VOD later because I don't know what Solar Winds is. I have played Jill of the Jungle in the early days of video gaming. But welcome in, everybody. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name's Raymond. Welcome to my channel, Board Game Heaven, where, as you guessed it, we do discuss and sometimes play board games. Usually when I stream, I also stream retro games. I do have redemptions normally on when I play video games. You can also redeem to check out a board game. I pull one from the shelves and we discuss it. We talk about it a little. I show you the components and stuff like that. And there's all kinds of cool redemptions otherwise. Today, I've turned most of them off because we want to concentrate on playing the board game, of course. But you're all welcome, and welcome to ask questions as well. If you have questions about this game, you can ask them. I will read them, and Emil will answer your questions. Here is a link in the chat to the Sun Tzu Games, which is the publisher's name that Emil runs, website, and that will have a link to the Kickstarter preview page where you can sign up to get a notification when the Kickstarter goes live. So you can just go there, click it, set it and forget it, and then when the time comes, you'll get an email and you can go and check that out. There is also a link to the Discord. Emil does have a Discord for his games. He's also published a couple of other games in the past. So you can follow his development there and also ask questions, of course. So check out that website. And if you're interested in games such as this, give him a follow. So yeah, it is, as you might have already guessed, a cooperative sci-fi dungeon crawler game, which has a huge overarching story. So every time you play a scenario, stuff happens, and depending on what happens and how you deal with that situation, you will be guided into a branching path, and your next mission could be different. And so a second playthrough of the entire game could be completely different. And of course, there's multiple characters. I'll quickly show them off here. I'm not going to name all of them, but here at the end of this virtual table, we got all of these characters here. And thank you, CTR Wilson, for the follow as well. So all of these characters will be playable characters with their own miniatures in the final game. And so right now, you can already see that there is a mock-up of one of the miniatures right here that Emil is playing. I'm currently still playing with the standee because not all of those sculpts are in this tabletop simulator game yet. And there will also be enemies and NPCs that we can interact with. But so far, we've been exploring a vessel. We are on a border patrol duty. in this scenario, and we need to check out this ship. And we just interacted with 3 of these consoles that were on the map in different rooms. And we kind of ran out of time, so now we're going to lose some of our focus because we're on the clock, and focus lets you re-roll dice. So right now we're kind of in a frenzy, and we can't re-roll our dice anymore, so we'll have to make do with what we can. Emil still has a little bit of focus left, but he's soon gonna lose that. And we still have 1 point of interest right here that we need to check, so we're nearly done. And Emil is going to try and run towards it and interact with it. He just needs to be next to it. So he's gonna roll the dice.
Yeah. So I played an effect card. So instead of playing it in slot 3, I'm playing it in slot 4, so
Okay.
that it stays in my cooldown track for a longer period of time.
Exactly.
That means when I can see you, at the end of your turn, before the free rest action, move an ally 2 squares. The ally also gains 1 focus. You can only interact with somebody when you can see them. So right now, I cannot gain any benefit from that, but I anticipate that we will be closer to each other in
Right.
a few moments. So I want to utilize that.
Mm-hmm.
So I roll a +1 and a shield. The shields, I am full stacked on shields, and the +1 does not do anything with this card, but I got 2 movements. So instead of using a movement card just to get a little bit further, I wanted to set up for the next turns.
Okay, and you also have the 2 free movement, right? When
Mhm.
you're further away from me.
But only on my basic actions. So
Okay.
so that's why I didn't go, because I only had 1 action. So on the best occasions, I would have gotten 5 movement with my basic action, which was still not enough to finish it off. So I thought it better to prepare. So I move my 2 parts down my cooldown track.
Yes.
Now that I've ended with my 2 actions. This one goes back in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
I flip my activation token, and we don't
are
no
already
longer
at
need
0.
to move. Yeah, so we
Yep.
just lose 1 focus each.
Yes. So that was my last focus. Fortunately, I can't lose more than that. So no negative effects happen in this scenario. So that's good. So normally after one player takes their turn, you would check if you have triggered anything in the mission. Then the enemies would move, then the second player, etc. But there aren't any enemies here. We're just on a peaceful border patrol mission, and the captain of this ship has let us in, has allowed us in, so no force was necessary. And we're just checking out what's on the ship. And they are bringing in livestock, I believe, and some supplies. So all should be well.
Yeah.
Of course, something is
So
bound
do
to
you want
happen.
to probably? I would say I know the designer enough to know that something is going down.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to move in there, or shall I move in there and wait up?
Well, I have this card on cooldown, the quick movement card, so I only have my basic action, which does allow me to roll a die, but if I don't have any focus, so I have a 1 in 6 chance of rolling the double movement, or no, or the +2, so that's a 2 in 6, 1 in 3.
Yeah.
And I need to move 1, 2, 3, so I could make it. I could make it. I'll risk it. I'll do the basic move. So I get 1 movement and 1 die. And because the action on this card is move 1, the number between the brackets is added up with the die results. And the dice have the plus between brackets, so that would add up. But the movement icon is just basic movement, so that also works in this case. So I'll take this die, and I'll roll it. There we go. +2, that's exactly what we need. So I get a +2 to the number in brackets. So that's move 3. That's exactly what we need. So 1, 2, and 3 diagonally. There's a wall there. So I can move diagonal. I'm next to the token, so I can just remove it for free, right?
It will remove once you end your turn, and you have 1 action.
I do
before
have an
you
action left.
do that,
This
so.
is on the 0 spot already, so we get that back immediately. Well, is there anything I think I'll just use a concentrate action because
Yeah.
I get 2 focus back.
Mhm.
I'll lose 1, of course, again,
Yeah.
but at least I'll have 1. So I get 2
Yeah, yeah.
focus back. Then I have a free cooldown, so this
Mhm.
goes into my hand as well. And I flip my token. I can't move
Mhm.
the turn token because
No.
we are at 0, so I lose 1 focus, and so do you,
Yeah.
right?
I have put it down now.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
All right,
means we
now
can go
we
to
check. Exactly. So the success is that we interacted with the 3 consoles and we have inspected the 2 storage rooms, their points of interest. If success, we continue to C26 Mission Update 1.
Yeah.
Smooth sailing so far.
Okay.
Oh no.
So
Oh no, what happens
yeah.
now?
We have some howling spineheads that will appear in, and that will be 2 of each enemies because team size, and we are 2.
Right.
So we will have 1 in R1, which is down here, and then we need 1 on your spot, which means you can move 1 spot in any direction you want.
Okay. Thank you, Neo, for following as well. So yeah, Emil is setting up the game. Let me check that.
So let's see. You can move your character in any direction you want.
So they
You
will
just need to move it out of the way.
yeah, just move it out of the way. There's no starting spot because we just kind of continue where we left off. Okay, well, I'm a melee character, so I'll just stay in this room next to both of them.
Yeah.
So I can.
So we have 1 here.
Start attacking.
So the R1 and R2 will have 2 characters,
Right.
2 howling spineheads, and yellow or Y1 and Y2 will have 2 wide scale pumas.
Yes. So if you were
And
3 or 4 players, you would also deploy
more
the
enemies.
red and
Yeah.
yellow 3 and 4 spots, but in this case we're 2. So here is one of those characters that will also be standees in the final game. They have their information on the standee. So the movement is 4, their range is 1, so they're melee characters. They deal 2 damage, they have 0 shields, and they have 4 hit points. And this here keeps track of their 4 hit points, and this is red 2. You see the red base and a number 2 on the corners there, and the number within this notch is of course their hit points. This is a prototype placeholder.
That's not everything has been illustrated yet.
Exactly. It's still in development, but a lot has been already illustrated. It looks really nice already. So that has a range of 1 as well. Movement of 3. It has a damage of a die, apparently. And it is armor piercing, so shields don't work.
So we have to roll a die for their attack, and all plus 1s and plus 2s will add to that damage.
Okay, so you could be lucky and roll a shield or a movement, and then they wouldn't deal damage. Their shield is also die.
So
die rolls.
You have to roll 2 dice, and they evade any damage by rolling a shield.
Right.
So
makes sense.
So you would want to, hit them several times instead of hitting them one big time, because you might, not hit them. They might evade.
Yeah, they're quick. And then we have the red one and the yellow one over here as per the setup right there. So once we've done that...
we set the turn token to 8 because we are 2 characters. So our turn limit is 8 turns. And we need to get all team members back on your own ship, or we can eliminate all enemies.
All right, that's the success parameter.
Yeah.
Exactly, yes.
Exactly. So, and we are not allowed to use any weapons classified as explosives. Because it's a ship.
Oh yeah, so, that would be bad, probably, yeah.
Yeah, you have one that classifies as explosive, your psionic shock grenade.
So yeah, you cannot use action cards with weapons classified explosives, and the ship enemies can enter your ship. While there are enemies on it, success cannot be triggered, right? And by that you mean our ship is the the ship in the top right there, right?
Exactly, yeah. Because you normally the ship would be something that you kind of dock with
Exactly.
the box. You dock with some of the
The
maps,
tiles. Yeah,
but
yeah.
here it just made sense to paint it on for now. So,
Okay.
but
But does
I
that
will
mean
see
that
whether
in
or not
this
how the design.
scenario there's only these spots, or do we actually have all the spots in the actual box ship?
I would prefer that it would be here, but the thing is, once the game is assembled, you would have
A
a
spine.
spiral in the is yeah in on the spine. You will have a spiral
On the
binding
edge there.
book. So therefore, you would not be able to place the box
Right.
on that specific, and that's why I painted it on, because I was like, okay, and then people can play like that, right? Because
That does make
otherwise
sense.
you have to dock on the sides, and that didn't make sense for this ship design. So
All right. Cool. Yeah, I do like that you actually have put a lot of thought into all of these map designs and how a ship is
mm.
built and all of that. That's really cool.
And this is just like this map here is just a prototype map, because you
Okay.
can see there's a it's quite a difference when you look at some of the other maps here.
Yeah.
You can see they are designed and drawn very differently. So
Yes.
the other one was just a prototype map that I did myself. But you
Okay.
can see here these are drawn by professionals. But again, when you have 80 maps or so, it's no, I cannot get everything drawn up front.
Yeah. Yeah. This game will have a thick spiral bound book
Yeah.
with lots and lots and lots of maps, and then there's another map book with the scenario. So it's probably gonna be a heavy box.
Yeah. Papers tend to be quite heavy when
Yeah.
put together.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay, so the
That is
first
the
thing that happens is that since we
oh
checked, we did a mission check and a mission update,
mm-hmm.
the enemies go next,
Go
because they
first.
always
Yeah.
go in between our
Part three.
turns.
So yeah,
Yeah,
it kind of just
and
moves on even through a setup. If you have different parts of a scenario, you just continue where you left off. You don't. You just basically put new stuff on the map, and you just go on where you left off. So we did the mission
yeah,
check.
it's like a fluent, just always
Yes,
continuing.
exactly.
That's the idea.
It's very cool.
So the
Enemy
enemies go
turn.
first, and we have set their enemy behavior card to frenzy. So
Frenzy.
because one of the things about Rogue Angels is that instead of having static enemy behaviors, I have something called behavior cards, which does not relate to the enemy itself, but relates to the enemy's state or behavior, current behavior. So an enemy can be in offensive when they have kind of jumped us, or they can be in a defensive position when we're attacking them. And it doesn't matter what type of enemy it is. It's more related to the context the enemy and we are in.
Right.
So we have the frenzy over here, which is a card that you can flip from red to yellow side. And
Yes.
right now we start out with the red side.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it says here, if the activated enemy caused the target player to draw one or more damage cards during its activation,
Right.
include exclamation mark as the last action. So that means if this if the character we are activating actually manages to draw blood on us, then it will continue.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay, we have the enemies here, which will target the player with least amount of shields.
Mm-hmm.
And you start with 4 shields, and I have 3 shields, so
Yep.
okay for me.
Oh,
So
no.
this character here moves 1, 2, 3, 4,
Mm-hmm.
and then it attacks me for 2. So I receive 2 damage on the shield because it has 2 damage.
So can you explain again exactly how the attack order works from this card?
So the card here shows that it moves and the target is player with least
Yes.
shields.
That's the top.
So that's the
one
thing.
up.
Yeah. So first it moves. That's its first action.
Mhm.
Then it does its second action, which is it targets all players. So if we were standing all adjacent to it, it would hit us all.
Mhm.
So it damages all players. In this instance, only me, and it
Yep.
damages with the amount of damage it has on its.
Yeah, it has a range of 1 and a damage of 2.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. So movement is always to get within range.
Mhm.
That is the sole purpose of a enemy moving.
Right.
And therefore, my first defense is that I receive 2 damage on my shield here.
Mhm.
So it goes from 3 to 1.
To 1. Exactly.
And then it doesn't make it better for the second enemy. Will think,
Same
well,
thing.
that's cool. Yeah. So I have even less shields now. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mhm.
So and now it will deal damage to the same
Mhm.
or nearest player. So if it could not reach me, but actually got adjacent to another character, then it would just deal damage to nearest character. But it prefers to deal damage to me, the
Yeah.
same.
Okay.
So damage same.
Yep.
And
Once again.
ooh, this is of course where I then will take 1 damage
One
card because
last
I go
shield.
to 0 shield.
Yeah.
And that
Still.
means the last damage I will have to take, I will take with my damage cards here.
Yes.
So
every time your shields are up and you still take damage, you draw a card from the damage
Yeah.
deck right there.
yeah.
And those go into your hand and or onto the
So
cooldown
this,
track, right?
yeah, exactly. So this card here, Severe Shock,
Mm-hmm.
it says when drawn, place this card on slot 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to put it here,
Yep.
and therefore I get this card back in my hand,
Right. That is a little bit of
and
a
3
bonus
goes here.
from getting.
Well, this was an effect card, so that was a penalty for me. But it could have been a bonus if it was a weapon
Oh,
I
right.
wanted to use.
Oh, yeah. You wanted to have that in play as long
Mm.
as possible. That's correct.
Mhm.
Normally, yeah. Sometimes it can be a boon. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
We
you
only
have.
play with the when drawn abilities, the ongoing and when discarded.
Yes.
If you play on a higher level, and that's just individual decided in the beginning of a mission, if you want to play on hard or insane. So if you're very used to these kind of games, then you could, up the stakes a bit for yourself.
Exactly.
So, but of course, this leaves me with a card, which means that enemy will also activate the lower.
Oh no. Let me check.
So it will move towards the most distant player, and the enemy can move through any characters if it has movements to do that. But it just moves 1, 2, 3,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's adjacent to you and deals damage to
Oh no.
you.
So it again deals 2 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any special
No.
abilities here, so I'll just lose 2 shields.
No special, just sucking it up.
Yep, exactly. All right. So those were the
That was
red
the enemies.
enemies.
The yellows will go on the next enemy turn. So now it's us,
Mhm.
and then we flip it next time. So
All right. Okay, I guess I'll start attacking.
I will have to go first because I'm the only one who has.
Oh, right, yeah, I was already depleted because I ended
Yeah.
last time. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Okay, so this is that's
Good luck.
that's not good.
You can do it. You got this.
I'm going to need some luck here. Okay, I will play my power armor, which I will play here.
Mhm.
I could play it higher, but I need something there, so I will get 2
2 dice to roll.
dice.
Plus 2 plus
No
1.
shields.
Oh no.
But when I'm dealt damage, regardless of amount,
Mhm.
I gain 1 focus and 1 movement, so I can move away.
All right, that's just something you wear and stays on the track until it's cooled down. Right.
Oh, but then I will play my pulse minigun and
Well, you
shoot it in
can.
the face.
I think you can use it to deal 2 damage to an adjacent enemy. Correct.
Then I would have to spend
Spend the
a
red.
token
Yeah,
on that.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But I will use my pulse minigun instead. Yeah.
Okay.
So deal 5 damage to an enemy within 4 squares.
Nice.
The only problem is that I will immediately have to end my turn without a free rest action.
All right. Yes.
So before that, I want to activate just our Ayeni here, so we both get 2 focus.
Mhm.
I think that would be wise. So we have her ability out of the way.
Okay.
So you get also 2 focus.
I get 2 focus. 1, 2.
There are
Okay.
no dice with this
Nope.
minigun, so I just
Okay.
shoot this creature.
5 damage. It doesn't have any shields, and it only has 4 health, so it's insta-killed.
Yeah.
Great.
And no rest for me, so I will just go to 7 on this one and flip the activation token.
No rests, no free rests because of this card. All right. And of course, as soon as a wound cools down to the last spot, it's just gone, right?
Then it's gone. So it's very much like you see in, what was it, Call of Duty, who introduced that in the early 2000s or something.
Yeah.
And what is it? Uncharted also has this kind of like locometer where if you stay out of harm's way, then you just kind of
Regenerate.
regenerate, right?
Yeah. All right.
So
So let's see. What do I have? I can't use the explosives, but this guy also has the 4 hit points and no shields. So yeah.
the lucky thing is the yellow ones go first. So
Oh, next time.
they
Oh,
will-
that's good. Yeah. Okay.
it's in between us, the enemies. So we have the
Do that.
one with the least. I am really a sitting duck here because of my low shields. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay, but the first one will move,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's adjacent to me. So now we can activate the next action, which is deal damage to.
Yeah, that's the yellow side.
Okay.
And here we go.
Yeah.
So that's the yellow characters that move as well. Yeah, on the frenzy side.
Oh, let's see here. Come on.
It gets this one. Oh no.
Yeah.
Deals a lot of
Okay.
damage. No shield, so you get a card.
So
Internal
move a
bleeding.
damage card. Yeah,
Mhm.
move a damage card 1 slot to the right. It cannot move because there's a card in
Discard,
its way.
Yeah.
But then this one will have to go on 3. It
Mhm.
cannot go on 3 because we cannot have damage on top of each other. So
Okay.
it will have to go on 4.
Yeah.
So I get this one back,
Okay.
and this one goes here.
Not bad. Right.
I did get some damage, so I can move and get some focus. Oh my! But I'm pretty sure they will catch up to me.
Start running around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will move here. Just try to.
How many
And I will
movement
gain
points do
1
you
focus.
have?
Just 1 movement point because of my power armor here.
Because if you move back 1 more, you're in a corridor where only 1 character can stand next to you.
Exactly.
Here there's
exactly.
2.
So, yeah, I will have to try to move back as much as I can.
Yeah. All right.
So, but this character here also managed to get me to draw a damage card. So
All right. So that
it
also
will
has
move
the exclamation mark.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Oh boy. And then
And then it deals damage to all characters. So that means also the enemy.
So they
Because a frenzy is not like they look at
who they're they damage to each other.
Yeah.
Does it also go for NPCs of the same type?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So its characters are both players and NPCs or enemies, right? And then you have players and you have enemies. So they're like these different groups, right?
So then you would put this this monster's health at 3.
Down. We'll see if.
All right.
What
Oh
we
yeah,
roll.
you need 2 even.
Oh, 2.
Yes,
so
because
it will
we
go
roll
down to
dice for
2,
this one.
and then you will
lose 2
you
shields.
will also take 2.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing is, it goes through shield,
Oh
right?
yes, this one ignores shields.
So-
That's true. So I take 2 damage.
Yeah.
I draw 2 cards then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
1 at a time.
Yeah. Let me just flip that one and rotate that one. That goes onto the 0 spot. It's a minor burn.
Ah,
I'm in luck.
nothing but a flesh wound. Yeah.
Just a flesh wound. 'Tis but a scratch. Move an action card 1 spot to the right, but I don't have any action cards on right now. And then, and even for hard mode, there's nothing there. So
Only if you went for insane, then you would also lose a focus. Right?
yeah, then I would lose a focus.
So because now that it's 0, it will also be discarded. So it's discarded straight away. Yeah.
All right. Onto the discard pile.
One more.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll put that down first. See what number that is. That's a number 1. That's a regular burn. I'm super tough.
Yeah, that's not fun. Why am I the squishy guy here?
I'll come and save you. No worries.
Okay. Yeah.
Move
Then we
a
have
damage
the...
card 1 spot to the right. There is no other damage card. Does that mean I move this one, or does
Oh,
that
no.
not apply
Because
to itself?
it's red. It's red in order, right? So you do the first thing.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it, but then you do
Draw.
the second, which means it's put on.
Yeah,
Spot
and then
1.
you place this card.
Sometimes those interactions will matter because sometimes you will actually move a damage card up 1 slot and then you would have to put it there, which results in you getting it up 1 higher.
Mm-hmm.
So the order sometimes matter.
Right.
So
okay. And of course, these cards not only have a negative effect, they also take up a slot on your cooldown track. So they're pretty negative to have. Okay.
We need to get them off. And we also have the second guy. He also needs to move, right?
That's true.
The guy with the least amount of that's still me, even with 1, 2.
Player with least shields, yeah. Then attacks the same or nearest player.
Okay, it didn't hit me.
Ah, good.
Oh, yeah.
That's the bonus of having to roll dice. Yeah, they can also hit in this case.
Yeah, I mean, the game starts out with much more simple enemies where it's like static attack and static. But since we've moved into second chapter, you will encounter enemies that are a bit more complex in that sense and require some other challenges to be solved.
Okay. So that's all the enemies then. Now I get to kick some butt.
Please do, because we can flip our tokens back. So please kill something.
All right. Did you move the token after you took your turn? The timer?
Because we started on 8, so 7.
Now this guy is down to 2 because he took damage from the puma. And let's see. So I can just use my basic blaster and deal 2 damage. Yeah, and what else do we have? This one, well, has dice for shield, so I might get lucky. 3 hit points. This one, do I have something to all enemies within 2? So this card deals 2 armor ignoring damage, which is great. Don't even need to roll then. To all enemies within 2 spots. And I also get to roll a die, but it won't increase the damage, but I might regain a shield. Correct? Or even get to move. Right?
Yeah. You could because it doesn't add to the damage, but the die could increase your shield or
give me something else. And also have this. That just deals 4 damage to an adjacent enemy. I kind of want to get rid of both of them. What else do we have? This is the pulse light discharge. That's not the grenade. No, this is the grenade. I can't use that one. So the pulse lightning discharger deals 1 armor ignoring damage to an enemy within 3 spots. So that's ranged. Hereafter, deal 1 armor ignoring damage to all characters adjacent to the first enemy. But that's just 1 damage, and the first one can be boosted with a lucky die roll. But I think I'll start with the Exo Shuriken, which is on spot number 3. And I deal 2 damage that ignores armor to all enemies. So that means this guy doesn't have any armor. It was down to 2 hit points, so that's gone. And this one does perhaps have armor. Do you still roll, or does it not matter?
Yeah, you roll for it's just avoiding damage. So for this one, so it doesn't have any. Okay, but it's down to 1 then.
Yeah.
Didn't roll any shield. So if it had rolled a shield, it would avoid the damage.
So. It would, even if my attack is armor piercing.
Yeah, the dice on the enemies there would be just that they are fast enough to avoid damage. So
Okay.
because you could say the animals do not have shield protection.
All right, I see. So if the shield was a number, then I'd ignore it with this card.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if
exactly.
it's a die roll,
many aliens or robots have shields, of course, where you go
Yeah.
straight through the shield with many of your attacks. Actually.
Right, and for thematically for creatures that don't wear armor, you roll a die because then it depends on how quick they can react, kind of.
Yeah.
It's very thematic. I like that. All right, so that's done then. It's down to 1. If I'm seeing that correctly, yes. That was my first action, so I can still do a basic action and do the light blaster, and that just deals 2 damage, which it could. I could also play it safe and just use the claymore, which deals 4 damage. Because
you only need to deal 1 damage, so you could use almost any. Also, the basic interact has 1 damage, right?
Oh, the basic interact.
So that's the cheapest action when you want to deal such a low amount of damage, right?
Yeah.
Because if you put your claymore all the way up here, then you don't see it for a while.
That's true. But it could possibly dodge. So I'm gonna use the light blaster. I'll keep the claymore. I'll use the light blaster, which deals 2 damage. But I also get to roll. Oh no, I do not. There's 0 dice to roll, so it just deals 2 damage. And you roll for the shields. There's 1 shield, but that's fine. So it dodges 1 attack, 1 hit.
Oh. And
then it's gone. Good. So I got it. That's both my actions. So then I get a free rest action. The burn goes away. Bloop. This goes down 1 spot. This goes down 1 spot. And I flip my token. So, yeah, I took out 2 of them for you.
Yeah, but that is what you can do, yeah. And we're down to 6, right? Yeah.
The time.
That's your character's thing. So we don't have any Reds enemies anymore, so we stay on the yellow side.
Exactly.
And he's pretty comfortable just attacking me because
nearest player.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. And but it's probably best I roll myself, right? Because otherwise I would. Okay. So.
Oh boy.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
Severe
so I got
wound.
I got a 4, which I cannot. There's a damage card on 4, so I have to put it on 5. 5 does not exist, so therefore I'm unconscious. Which means I have to flip my activation token, and you're the only one who can, continue until you heal me, and then I am back, in the game.
Right.
So of course it got very happy with that.
It did deal damage.
There, so
so
we go
distant player.
1, 2. How far can it go? Actually, 3. Okay,
3.
So it cannot reach you.
Yay! Haha. Okay.
All right. You have to flip your token, and then you have to, deal with it.
Yep. Don't worry. I'll get you. So normally, when you're unconscious, you would put down your miniature, right?
Yeah, you would. You could just tip it over. You cannot do that in tabletop.
No,
you cannot really tip it. But then you would just tip it over, and your activation token has to go on.
I think you can
unused, and then you can only flip it back once you've been healed.
There you go.
To some extent. To some extent.
All right.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. So it's 1 spot, or basically 2 spots away from me. This does not have range. It's adjacent. Let's see. This one. This was within 3 squares. I deal 1 damage. And then there's nothing adjacent though, but it only deals 1 damage plus a die. It's down to 3.
You only need 1 damage, yeah. It was still this one hasn't. Oh, it's a 3. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
this one has not been touched yet. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I hope that I'm lucky. Of course, if I roll the die and I get a movement, I could also move in close for a melee attack on the next turn. So I'll do that, but since 2 is occupied by another card, I'll put it here. So I'll use the Pulse Lightning Discharger. I'll take 1 die and roll that. And thank you for the follow, Shane Games. All right, so I roll 2 movement. I do have focus left, so I could, I could either move towards it and still deal 1 damage, unless it doesn't have any shields, right? You just rolled.
No, I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, you haven't.
I just moved it there. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you can roll because... Oh, no. Do I need to roll first or do you need to roll first? Doesn't matter.
You would roll first, but you have already rolled. You got your +2 movement.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I'll just move closer after this. So I'll leave it at that.
Makes sense. Yeah.
No shields.
No shields. So
So it takes 1 damage. So it's now at 2 hit points. That's good. That means with my 2 movement that I rolled here, I can just move towards it. Can I pass it like this, or is that blocked?
Yeah. You can always go diagonal.
I'll at least block it from... Well, it can go diagonal as well, but I'll be closer to you at least.
Before it comes and feast on my
unconscious body.
Yeah.
So I can't use the grenades because I blow up the ship. We don't want that. So I'll just go for it and use my Zealous Claymore, which is 4, and that just deals 4 damage to an adjacent enemy. So you get to roll...
2 dice, and there's only 1 shield on each, so it will die.
It will certainly die, exactly.
Yeah.
So those were my 2 actions. Then I get a free rest. This moves into my hand, and all the others also move to the left. Flip my token and move the timer. So that means it's the enemy's turn, but they're all gone.
Yep. For now we have mission success for...
All right. So
I'm still unconscious. I don't actually remember how I solved this, but I think there is a penalty to those who have to be dragged off the ship. So we'll see.
Sling you over my shoulder and just carry you away. Weak humans.
Yeah.
All right, so in a success, right?
Yeah. Mission update 2.
Yes, we eliminated all the enemies, which is perfect. And we can go to mission update 2. Yeah. All right, which is this.
Yeah. Oh, that was 1A. Sorry. 2.
Mission update 2.
Okay. Yeah.
We got. We eliminated the enemy, so that's the yellow part. That's what I read. Correct?
Yeah. Correct.
All right. As the last of the loose animals is put down, because that was what they were transporting, you walk back to the captain. The captain says, "Thank you for your effort, Commander. And I'm sorry that you had to see that. These were meant for, a different audience. You know how the galaxy works, and the markets on Asgard has plenty of strange and wanton, shall we say, collectors. Ayenu butts in and says, those animals are illegal and dangerous. You almost got us killed. You know we must report you to the authorities, right? It'll be difficult to sell anything from the cryocorp's ice cubes." "Oh, I get it. Settle down. No need to get all fussy from a little close encounter. Commander, perhaps we can work out an arrangement that lets me pass by with the remaining livestock. What if one of the animals were handed over to your care? Would you perhaps benefit from having a non-talking companion?" So now we have a choice. What will you answer the captain? So now we need to agree on this as well. We can refuse to take any bribe and report the captain. And the assembly, for which we are working, of course, will certainly appreciate our honest reports. Or we agree to take an animal companion and let the captain continue. You could try to omit that part in the report. Nobody has to know. You might get a useful pet. Interesting, Emil. So that means that you have actual pets in the game that you can use.
Yeah, it is. So those work like companions.
Nice.
We have over here, we have some pets, and they work in the same way as companions do, but they can just die on them. Like, during a mission where story companions, only die through narrative.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of the
Right.
difference.
So yeah, when the animal companion dies, it's just gone, and
Yeah. It's up to the player how much they will grieve over that.
yeah. Of course,
But,
if we turn them in, we might get some bonus points towards our standing with the assembly. And depending on your story,
we're not depending on that for
Yeah.
our gameplay, we could just go for a companion, of course.
Yeah.
We do
Well, what's your thought, Emil?
I think, one of them almost decapitated me, but we could just choose another creature. So I think we should go for it and see what creature we might be able to
Yeah, I'm
get.
kind of curious about that too, so let's go for it.
Okay,
Let's
so we
let
go
it
for
slip.
3 here.
Right. So, okay. So now we read the part. If you decided to take the animal companion, the captain says, "Excellent choice, Commander. I have a few specimens not earmarked yet. I'll let you choose one, and then we can go on our separate ways. Thanks again, and Godspeed." Paradis says, "I hope you know what you're doing, Commander. I'd really hate to get my tail bitten off by a hungry mountain raptor or onyx mantis. At any speed, I'll put the cage in the cargo area so you can feed it later." Heads up, Camriel says another ship just exited FTL 2 clicks away. He'll try to hail them in 5 minutes. Better prepare your team. So everybody loses 1 focus and a personality token of their choice. Oh no. And you may now open and inspect the cards from the companion card pet deck, and you must choose 1 card that will be added to your ship. The rest goes back into the pack, and you can hereafter choose this companion along any other available companions when a mission starts. But it cannot be used for this mission. So we need to
I put them
it.
over here.
Yes.
So
right.
everything that is looted, every weapon, all this comes in packs of 4.
All right. Nice.
It's manufacturing and all that stuff.
So again, not all the art is final. This is just a placeholder so far. We have a Bailey, which is a stone boar, usually found on planets with very hot climate, herbivore living off roots. They headbutt on your turn whenever you are moving 4 or more. Deal 1 damage to an adjacent enemy when you start. So you is meaning that creature then, right?
It means that because like companions, they are attached to a player, so they are not physically represented on the map. They are just bonusing, your stats, kind of, right? So it would have to be adjacent to you as a character, right?
I see. I thought there might have been like also a standee that you send out to fetch.
No, because then you need a lot of different rules about what happens this and then and why and what and so on.
Okay,
so I keep companions to be just represented through the character that they are attached to.
Right, and they just give you a bonus then, basically. Okay, okay, makes sense. So if I move my character that has this companion 4 more spaces, you're on a run and you headbutt 1 damage to an adjacent enemy when you stop. That's pretty cool. We also have a mounted charge. You can sit on it. Once per mission on your turn, you may move 4, then deal the number of squares moved as damage to an adjacent enemy. It's even better. But only once per mission, of course. Roll 1 die, no rerolls. If you roll no movement, oh, Bailey dies. Oh, that's risky. Okay. All right, that's cool. We have Shay, a howling spinehead, ones we fought. Only found in Vexation. A carnivore that hunts both alone and in packs. Has raptorial legs. After your free rest action, if you did not attack this turn, deal 2 unblockable damage to 2 adjacent enemies. Okay, that's pretty cool. And we have an Unstoppable Frenzy on your turn that Shay lose. She deals 2 unblockable damage to all accessible enemies on the map, and Shay then dies. Oh, it's very sad though. We have Havoc. Is a forest fiend, can be found in several systems like Vexation. Was it this vexation too? This is vexation. This is vax.
It's the one that yes, yeah, it should have been vexation.
Little
Yeah.
typo.
But you have met all the reaches before in other encounters, or in this mission here, right? So you will have seen these in kind of like in the lore and in this kind of like, so it's yeah.
Okay. It has tail darts. After your free rest action, deal 1 damage to an enemy within 3. That's pretty cool. And has poisonous vomit. On your turn, let Havoc spew an enemy within 3 squares with poisonous vomit. Your next attack this turn deals twice the damage to it, and then it dies. Okay. So your next... Oh, cool. All right. Oh, thank you, Dractus. Yes. Thank you very much. I hope you also like the board game.
I'm here for the beard.
Not here for the beard. But I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. And then finally, we have the Huntress that we've also been fighting. It's a white-scale puma found in the Arctics. Eats most type of critters and hunts in packs. I find typos all over the place. Write them down.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I do. I have my small notepad here, and I'm like,
fantastic. First style hunter. On your turn, whenever you deal damage to one or more adjacent enemies with an interact action. Oh, damage with an interact. Okay. Add 1 to the attack. Okay. And we have sacrifice. Once per nation on the enemy's turn, if a damage card would make you unconscious, you may discard it instead. Roll 1 die, no rerolls, and if you roll no shields, Huntress dies. Oh, okay. It's also once per mission, but if you roll a shield, then it still survives. So it prevents unconsciousness. Well, I kind of like the tail darts.
Have you used that before? Yeah, what did you say?
I kind of like the tail darts from the Havoc. After your free rest action, you can deal 1 damage to an enemy within 3, so that's ranged. Could be useful. But yeah, of course, you get a say as well.
Yeah, I think you should go with that.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll take that card. I'll just
little animal.
Add it next to my card then. With a little creature on my shoulder. Maybe it's too big for that, but I don't know. Okay.
So, and this is not the end of the mission.
All right.
Because let's see here. Oh, sorry. We would go to mission update 4. Yeah.
Yeah, which is this. Okay, while Camriel initiates communication, you trail off as you look at the newly appeared freighter floating through space, accompanied by the backdrop of Thresia, a violet and brown planet bathed in the sunshine from the system star. Camriel says, Commander, I have the freighter on my radar. However, I can't hail it. It's sending out a lot of scans and radar signatures, almost as if it's scanning the entire system. It just doesn't look like a surveillance ship to me. Let me try and... Oh, there is an incoming message. Passing it through. Unknown on the comm. This is Captain Y. Brimstone of Cargo Freighter D8801. Pleased to meet you. We are on our way to the core worlds of Panacea. Our cargo is medical equipment. We have received orders to not delay. Please allow us to pass unhindered. Camriel says, it sounds rather suspicious. The Border Patrol has given us direct orders to inspect all ships, no exceptions. But I can't reach them. What should we do? Ayeni says, if Camriel brings us in close enough, we could use our spacesuits to access the rear hatch of the ship, sneak on board and investigate what is going on, using non-lethal force, of course. So we have an action, the spacesuit. Every player must place 1 action card of their choice face down on their cooldown track on slot 2 or higher. And if they cannot, they lose 2 focus. So that happens when you're in the spacesuit? For as long as you're in there?
Yeah, no, it's just like sometimes I use, can you say, face down action cards as just taking up a slot, like in order to, what can you say, thematically implement something that is a different thing happening. So, for example, putting on a spacesuit or something like that, or wearing a spacesuit. So you would have to, it's just something that, like the other thing in the cooldown, just blocks you from having as many choices as you would otherwise have. But it just rests off whenever you have cards on the cooldown track. They can always be rested off. So
yeah, okay. All right, very well. And then we put all the tokens back, of course. Right, okay. I think we should do it. Yeah, let's go investigate sneakily.
So I've actually not written that if you are unconscious, you need to wake up. You've been carried out of there to kind of continue the mission. So that is also a note to me, which should
kind
be
of
here.
Implied, of course, when you're on the ship.
Yeah.
You kind of get patched up. But yeah, it would be good to have that actually in the book, just in case, in the rules.
Because I'm not dying when I'm playing myself.
No.
Funnily enough. It's only now.
But our current setup with the cards, that remains as it was, because
that remains. So I cannot put anything, so I would lose 2 focus. And you would have to put a card on the cooldown track, So you could put one just face down. But you can choose any card. So the one that you least expect to use.
Exactly. I'll put the shock grenade down because I couldn't use it last time. And we're once again going onto a ship. So probably not the best card. So I'll put that there. Okay.
Super. Okay. And I just lost 2 focus instead, so that's all dandy.
Oh yes, and I also. Oh yeah, you didn't. You had to lose 2 focus because you couldn't put down a card. Yeah, at least.
So we'll just start with some damage. I'm pretty beaten up.
yeah, already. So. Still need to heal.
Yeah.
Do we get a different map?
We'll see.
Oh, we'll see. Of course, we need to.
I actually don't remember, so that was a quick answer. I think it's the same type of transport.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see here. So.
Does look like
okay, so 1 console in here, and then 2 doors.
There's a door there.
It was up here.
Yeah, exactly. That's over there. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And then we get some socks in red 1 and red 2.
Thugs. Of course, they're thugs.
So those are the.
Let's take a look at those then. This is a thug. Has a movement of 4. No, a range of 4, movement of 3. Deals 1 damage. Doesn't have shields and only 3 health. So, not too bad.
Oh no, that's one of the least scary enemies in the game.
All right, we can take on some thugs.
Yeah. Okay, so and we also need a crate. Just find a crate here.
Thanks for the follow, Drexthus. All right. Shall I start reading the mission briefing?
Yep.
So the team starts in the back there, so that's where we board the ship. Ayenu tells us, "Brr, it's cold here. Why is their ventilation not functioning properly? The oxygen level is also dangerously low. We better keep our spacesuits' oxygen on for now. Hopefully, we'll find out what's going on quickly. I have our objectives on the schematics ready to move on your mark, Commander." Okay, so the parameters of this mission are to get a success, we need to open a crate that's in that area that we start. That's great. We need to hack the console on the bridge, and we need to take down all the enemies. There are some triggers and conditions. Again, explosives. That's good. You cannot use action cards with weapon classified as explosives, so that's the card that I put down, face down, so that's fine. It's a non-lethal takedown. You must deal the last amount of damage with a basic interact action, because we probably want to interrogate someone. and it's low temperature. So turns spent after the turn token reaches 0 results in every player losing 1 focus and must move all action cards on their cooldown track 1 slot to the right. Alrighty. Another typo there. Turns spent with a T, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because it's in past tense.
Past tense.
That's my English for you. It can
That's
be a
fine.
bit.
That's why we play
But
tests.
there's 400. Yeah, and there's 400 or almost 500 pages. So you kind of get a bit blind to, some of your own things, of course.
Yeah. But so far, I'm really liking the narration. It really brings you into the story, like an interactive story. It's fantastic.
Thanks. And I will have a native speaking or several native speaking people to look it through and rewrite a few things so it comes natural. Okay, right. So we are kind of set up, whatever you might call that. Not great, but we
we'll pull through. They're just thugs.
We'll pull through, yeah.
Hopefully.
So maybe I should, since I need some
healing.
Some healing. Maybe I should stay behind you. Like if you push on, I can
Agreed.
take the
Yeah,
we should do
might
that.
even get a concentration or rest action, so you can get rid of those.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Shall I start then?
If you want to check out the crate, and I'll move into the corridor to engage.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
So I will start by doing a rest action, so I get a spot somewhere. And I will then, as my second action, play my BMS device here, Battle Management System, if anyone wants to know. Okay, I got 2 movement and a shield. I would like that.
And movement is great, so you don't have to roll for movement.
No, exactly. So I could move 1, 2. I could also go here. Yeah. And then I will. That would actually be the end of my mission, but or end of my turn. So, but I can move you 2, 1, 2, and you gain a focus.
Yeah. Move an ally 2 spots, and I gain a focus.
Yes, exactly. So then all of these go 1 slot to left.
So you get that one back.
And then because I have Annie with me, she heals 1 damage for me.
Fantastic! Yeah. After your free rest action, you may move 1 damage card 1 slot to the left. Good. So that's gone.
Not bad.
See?
That's you. On you now.
All right. So if that was your turn, then now the enemies move, or do they not engage since they don't know we're here?
No, it's just systematic patrolling for now.
Right.
And they actually, we will. Yeah, you will see that. I will not spoil
systematic
anything.
Patrolling.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So the one with number 1 moves 1 towards the nearest enemy. Oh, he's behind closed doors, so he doesn't count.
Okay.
Anyone that cannot be reached are not counted as being there, basically. So this one would be number 1 and moves towards the nearest. So he just moves 1.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Good. So that was the enemy's turn. So now I get to take my turn. All right. Let's see. You're gonna interact then, right, with the crate?
I can take care of that. Yeah.
All right. So
I can open that.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement. I would need to attack, or I need ranged, but I spent all of that. Wait, this was the ranged one. So let's see. I could use the dodge and bolt and roll 3 dice to see if I can breach the enemy with 5 spots. And then let's see. They have 3 hit points and no shields. Could I? That is no dice. Well, I could, of course, spend... Oh, no, I can't. I don't have red tokens. With with the blaster. Let's see. Oh, but it's a ranged weapon, so that don't have to get that close. That's true.
You also want to hit the last damage has to be dealt by a basic interact, because you don't want to kill them. You don't want to end them.
Yeah, that's true. But the last one, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, does that go for each enemy?
Yeah,
or...
for those 2 enemies, yeah.
Oh, right. I thought it
So
was
you
only
want
for
to-
the last enemy, because we need one person alive.
I know, you must deal the last amount of damage with the basic interact action. So take down all enemies.
Okay.
Non-lethal takedown.
All right.
But for all numbers, like if you deal 4 damage, you can always say I just deal 3 damage. Just like if you move 4, you can always say I just move 2 or 1.
Right, you can always
So
do less.
all numbers are below, you could say, right? Like
yes,
you can,
yes, that makes sense.
You can always decrease.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't actually play my dodge and bolt because all my spots are filled. So I'll do a basic move, and since I need, if I'm gonna use the blaster, that's 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need line of sight. Can you quickly explain line of sight to the viewers? And of course,
Line
if
of
anyone
sight
in
is
chat
just
has
middle
questions.
to middle.
Yeah, middle to middle. Okay. If anyone in
So-
chat, yeah,
For sure, if anyone has questions,
just ask.
let us know.
So yeah, one question that I have, if I am gonna stand here, for example, right? So diagonally from the enemy.
Yeah. Then you can shoot him if you want to.
Yeah, so these walls don't interfere.
Yeah, only the red lines
Mhm.
in walls actually block, and when you have diagonal moves and you have diagonal view, so therefore you can. If I had to make the walls so tiny that you would visibly be able to cut a line, then you would all have no lines really to follow.
Right. Mhm.
So I put red lines within the walls so that the walls can still be there, but it's the red lines that block line of sight.
Right.
So
So just touching a corner is
yeah,
still
that's
line of
fine.
sight. Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic.
exactly.
Then, but let me see that. I can't use the rifle either because that's also in spot 2. Oh,
Yeah, you also need some rest.
yeah, exactly.
You can always use your 0 basic move and basic interact, of course.
True. Well, I'll try how far I get with the basic move. So it's 1 + 1 die. So I'll need this result, please. Just roll that a lot. Yes, nice. That's 3 movement. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. That's over here, or 1, 2, 3. That's over there. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Well, if I go there, I at least have line of sight. So, okay, I'll do 1, 2, 3. That's my basic move action. This is 0, so that comes back to my hand immediately. Can I do a basic interaction? No, that needs to be adjacent.
Yeah, then you would have to hope that you roll a movement, right?
Oh, right, with the die on the basic interact.
Or you could actually, then you would have to use your
token.
Your cautious token, right? Then you would get a +2 move to your basic interact. It would allow you to.
Yeah, you know what? Why not? I haven't used any one of those yet, so I'm gonna spend a token. Again, you need to do that up front before you roll.
Yeah.
So I'll get 2 extra movement anyway, and I get to deal damage with a basic interact, which is the requirement if I want to take him down. They do have 3 hit points, so I could roll a +2. I could do it theoretically. So, okay, I'll do the 2 movement first. So 1, 2, just move there. And then I will roll this die. Come on, give me a +2. A +2, that's what I need. Oh, no. That was a... Oh, I can't focus. I'll focus, spend the focus, and re-roll. There we go. That's a +1, at least. So I deal 2 damage to this enemy. Since he doesn't have shields, he's down to 1. that was my second action.
Mhm.
Comes back to my hand. And that was my turn, so I get a cooldown. All these cards move one spot to the left. This gets flipped.
Yep.
And this gets moved to spot 9, the timer. That was my turn. So now the enemies get to
And
act.
they just move towards the nearest player.
Okay.
And you will see why that is. But you know,
so they're not alarmed.
you get this one back. No, they're not alarmed.
Engaged.
You will see why that is. But you know,
oh boy, the plot thickens.
yeah. Okay. Maybe I should try to open the crate so that we can get you. Okay. I will take a shield this time.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay, 1 blue, and then I will do another
basic interact.
Basic interact.
+1.
+1.
So that's 2.
And so that's 2.
2 tokens.
Not useful.
That's
that
another
is
blue.
useful. Okay. So that was my 2 chickens. This one, and then Ayeni, she allows me to discard this one. So yeah, I just flipped it back and forth.
Yeah.
Yours should of course be flipped because
right,
we have
because the enemies didn't really do anything, and that means we refresh. Yep. Okay.
So yeah, you can deal with that guy probably.
All right. So after your turn, again, he doesn't do anything.
No.
All right. I wonder.
Mhm.
Oh, actually, after your free rest action, you deal. Oh, but that's lethal damage, right? That's not a.
No, that's exactly because you have to do it with a basic because basic interact is a punch to the face, right? So I used that several times up through the story that, you know, if you want to take prisoners, you have to
knock them out.
Knock them out.
Yeah.
The last damage cannot be a slash through the throat.
No,
that's not
okay.
That's not how taking prisoners work.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll use the basic interact movement action to deal 1 damage. I will roll. Maybe I roll a shield because I do have a die. That's a +1. So I just I punch harder. All right.
You can do a free reroll because you were adjacent to an enemy. I just moved him, but you know I know he will.
Yeah.
He will be.
Free reroll. It's on its side.
There is a glitch in the matrix.
That is interesting. Has anyone ever seen that before? That's really cool. I'll reroll.
Yeah. Happens and so.
Okay. Well, no free shield, but okay. I took him out.
Yeah, you can use the movement to place yourself closer to the door, for example.
It does have a movement, so I'll move here. Do I need to open the door somehow? The action or?
So open the door, and the console and the crates are all this interact where you have to be successful. And this time there are no changes to. So white is wild still, and 2 whites are cancelled to the whole interaction.
So I'll use my basic interact then, right? To try open the door. Because I can't use
because if you're going to use your decipher device, you had to put it all the way on
4. Yeah, exactly. That's the only free spot I have. So I interact with an adjacent object for 1, but I do get to roll a dice for that. So roll. That's a +1. So I get to draw 2 tokens. Oh, that's a wild.
Oh.
And a
purple. So that's 2 purple.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Keep that. And that is my 2 actions. This comes back to my hand. I flipped my token. This moves, and I get a free rest. There. All right.
Yeah, and this one also goes back.
Enemies do nothing because this one is behind a closed door, correct?
Exactly. I try to get this one done so we can.
Yes.
I can get to you. I will use my grid slicer then. I can interact for 2, and let's see if I can get a. Oh, so that's 4.
Nice.
That should be
good luck.
Statistically enough.
Blue.
And there it was. So let me just try to pull for a white.
Oh.
Okay, should I use that instead, perhaps? yeah, that means there are less whites, so
Less
we can
chance for me to
gamble
draw a
bit
second
more.
white one. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's okay, because it would be on a second action, but we also need to get this one in. You're just not allowed to draw 2 whites on the
On
same
the same
action.
action. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh.
So, yeah, so it's push your luck in some situations, and otherwise it's just know your luck.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
So that was your first action then?
That I will do a basic move, and I have +2 to that because you're far away.
Okay. Yep, that's your basic.
Great. I will take a shield, and then I will have 3. 1, 2, 3.
Well, see, fully healed and fully shielded again.
Yeah. Oh, and I can see you here, so I will just move you 1 closer, and then you can get 1 focus.
Ah, yes. That's nice. Good.
Well, that's how I play.
Enemies still don't do anything, I guess.
Nope.
All right. Oh, this was back to my hand, by the way, because it's on spot 0. I'll do another basic interact. Basic interact. Get to roll 1 die. Roll that die. It's 2 movement. Yeah.
You cannot solve everything with the sword. So
Nope.
you have to
Nope.
you have to start doing some
I kind of want more chances.
tech work.
So I'll roll again. It's a +1, so I get to draw twice. That's fine. 1, that's red. It's not what I need. Another red.
Oh. Good. Because then
Oh yeah, I keep
just
those.
push the
That's true.
purple back, and then we have
those
3
with the
red.
wild and put the purple one back. Yeah, I opened the
Yeah.
door. Hey. And I still have... Oh, no, I don't. I re-rolled them. I was going to say I still have the movement. But that was my first action.
Yep.
So let's see. I can't see them, of course. So I do need to move and then use non-lethal action force. Deal 2 damage to an enemy within 4, but I need to have line of sight. What else could I do? Possibly... with the movement, I do get to roll a die, but I don't get to damage with a basic move action. What does the basic interact do? Deal 1 damage to an adjacent enemy, and I get to roll a die. So I could do the basic interact, hope that I roll 2 movement, but yeah.
Otherwise you have to use another one of your tokens, of course.
I could also, well, now I could use the dodge and ball, put it on 3, roll 3 dice, then you move a whole bunch, but I don't deal any damage.
No, exactly. So your only combining is with using the movement on the basic interact. That's the only way you combine movement and damage.
Yeah.
So there are many characters who have different combinations where you both move and damage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But she's not one of them.
I'll just, because I'm assuming this might be the last part of this mission.
Yeah.
And after a full mission, you get your tokens back.
Yeah, every token you have from these, you just reset. So there's no upkeep between missions and stuff you have to keep track on, because that's not fun.
Well, then I will use my yellow token to get a +2 movement, which I will do first. So that's 1, 2. And then with the rest of the basic interact, I roll 1 die and deal 1 damage. So maybe I'll roll a +2. Who knows? Oh, that's a +1 though. So I deal 2 damage. He's down to 1.
Yep.
And that comes back to my hand. Those were my 2 actions. This moves to the left, so it comes back to my hand. This moves 1 to the left. Flip the token, move the timer.
Okay.
And now it's their turn if they engage.
So he just moves to the nearest, and you're already standing next to him.
Yeah,
so
they just move.
Okay.
It's very tame.
Okay, I will 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I will just do a basic move because I can use my... There's a shield. I actually don't want that shield, but no, 1, 2, 3, because I'm still far away from you.
Yep.
And then I will use another basic move. We should be able to do it here. So no, yeah, basic move.
Yep.
Oh, now I have all the shields. 1, 2, 3. There. You get 1 focus because now I can see you again, so I can move you 2 squares. There you go. You're welcome. And then these go down and flip.
Yep.
We have 5 turns left.
Oh, 2 turns. Interesting. Yep. The enemy does
So
nothing, I guess.
No.
It just moves towards me. Well, they're already adjacent.
Almost like there's something wrong, right?
With them, yeah, almost like. Okay, so basic interact then, because I'm next to them. And they only have the 1 damage left, so this deals 1 damage. I do get to roll. Yep. Maybe I get a shield. Let's see. I get 2 movements. All right, fine.
You can use that.
I can move towards the console.
Yeah.
Right, they're all
like to get that hacked, yeah.
Yeah, so my second action, now I could use that decipher device, interact with an adjacent 2. I'll try that. So I get to roll 2 dice. I'll roll these 2. There we go. Rolly. That's not what I needed. I will spend the focus. Maybe I'll keep the shield. I'll just leave that.
That's a good. That would be better. Reroll, yeah.
No, don't land on the shield. Oh, I get a plus.
Okay.
+1 though, so that's only 1 interaction. Yeah, there's only 1 +2 on the dice, so I'll stick with this. You know what? I'll spend another focus to roll the other one.
Yeah.
Please give me more. Yes, another +1. So that's 2. All right, 2 things from the bag. 1, 2. Hey, nice. Perfect. Okay. Was that my first action?
Yeah, it must be. So. Yeah, right? Because you put it there. Yeah.
Then I'll use the basic interact action, which is another die. +1. Oh, sorry, that was not rolling. That was flipping. Rolling. Okay, that's a +1 and a +1 from the card itself. So that's 2, 1, and there you go. I'll draw another.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, that's fine. That goes back. Okay, so I hacked the console.
Yep.
That means we check that those were my 2. Let's do it the correct way. Those were my 2 actions. This comes back to my hand.
Yep.
There we go. This moves down 1 spot. So that card also comes back to my hand, correct? The slot that was taken up by the spacesuit.
Yeah, exactly.
My hand. I flip this around. I move this one. And then after my turn, we check the mission update.
Yep.
So it says we took down all the enemies, we opened the crate, and we hacked the console on the bridge. So we go to mission update 6.
Yeah.
It's that one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, mission update 6. You calmly look around on the eerily silent and empty bridge. Ayeni says, Commander, what is this? There's nothing in the crates, and why are there so few crew members? Ayeni's voice trails off as you both slowly turn towards the presumed captain you knocked out earlier. Slowly, the human scaffold rises again. Reaver scaffold in person. Unauthorized access. You are not part of the plan. Mission is compromised. New mission parameters. Activate lurkers. Initiate self-destruct sequence. Ayeni says, Creators, this scaffold is a human from vexation. The Reavers have... Before Ayeni can finish her sentence, the scaffold shuts down as its inner circuits self-destruct. This is followed by a series of signals throughout the ship. The ship starts maneuvering. Camriel on the comm. Commander, what's going on? Why is the ship moving? Commander, do you read me? You're heading full speed towards one of 3 CS moons. If you don't change course, you'll crash into it. Ayeni says, controls, hatches, engines, nothing is responding. The entire system is locked and burned. And even if we could shut down the engine, our current momentum would still have us crash. What do you suggest, Camriel? There's little to no oxygen left inside the freighter, and it has no shields, so I could shoot a hole in the rear of it without creating a dangerous decompression. With your suits on, you can jump out and we can pick you up. Paradis will be ready at the cargo hatch with the mechanical arm to catch you. Just wait for my signal so you avoid being in the blast radius. Okay, so then mission update 7.
Yep. So we have 2 team size Reaver lurkers in 01 and 2.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, my time is up.
No.
I'll hang on a second. I'll ask how much time we can stretch before dinner is served here. We're about to have dinner in these realms here. It's 5 o'clock. We usually eat about 5:30. Let me just ask. Maybe we can. How long do you think this mission will take?
This is the last part. So this has a few. It has been a longer mission. Well, it's been longer because we of course are explaining a lot throughout the mission. You could say. Otherwise, it doesn't take as long, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, it's done after this segment.
Hang on.
All about being polite on the home front.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just wait for a response, or I could just. You know what? I'll be right back.
Yeah.
It might be faster.
I wonder if there's anything I can do on the channel here. Is there anything that would help Damon maybe undermine his service completely? It's left up to me. I don't usually do any live stream by myself, so if anyone wants to ask something, they're very welcome to do that.
All right. The chef says we have 20 minutes.
Okay.
Already
well,
in
then
the kitchen,
let's.
So we got 20 minutes until dinner is served. So let's do this quickly.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Setting up the enemies here. So we have number 1, number 1 and 2.
Yellow 1.
And we have
2.
some lurkers.
Ochre 1 and 2.
Lurker, yeah.
Orange.
Yeah. So orange goes on both red and yellow, but they go after red and yellow. So if there are any yellows and there's enough yellow, it's only the yellows to activate. But once the yellows are killed, then the orange ones will alter between red and yellow, because orange is the combination of red and yellow.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, that's interesting.
So that's how the orange works. So that in that way, I can always create a third party of enemies or NPCs of some sort, right?
Right. Yeah.
By using this color combination. So we go to the self-destruct sequence.
Right, that's what it says here.
Okay, and we go to we go to red. And here we have explosives can still not be used, of course, and we need to get out from here, like in the end of the ship here.
Yeah, that's where the arrows are.
To get as many team members as possible out of the ship to the east, see arrows. And we have only eight turns, so that's not a lot. Reaver lurkers, they are cloaked, so they can only be targeted if the enemy attacked last enemy turn. So that means once they have attacked, we can attack them, but if the other enemies have attacked, they are no longer visible.
Okay.
So and then blowing out the back on turn 5 for us, and 4, Cameron blows a hole in the ship's wall near the 2 arrows. So the explosion deals 5 damage to all objects within 3 squares of the ship's wall. So therefore, the whole section there will be in danger.
Okay.
So we just need to jump out after the second explosion. So
yeah. All right.
Okay, so I can only. Oh, we need the lurkers to do their thing first. So they self-destruct sequence. If they were damaged, they will. You can see here it says that if the activated enemy was damaged last player turn, then they will use the lower one instead, dealing more damage, but also dealing damage to themselves.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cannot see anyone from there. 1. Now it can see you.
Yes.
So
and it has
that was
range of 3, so it will stay at range.
Yeah, it will stay at range, and then it will deal damage to you with 2 dice.
Yeah, you roll them. Oh, tip over to the to the shield. Oh, that's 1.
1. Okay, yeah.
So I take a 1 shield.
The shield, yeah.
Goes off. All right.
Then it is my turn.
Yes.
So I think I will try to. I should probably just try to blow it up, shouldn't I? Yeah, I think I will do that. I should get within position, so I will use my gun first. See, with one of these here, so I get 3 dice. I have 1 reroll. I just need one movement, then I can shoot it.
Okay. That's true.
It's a little bit risky, but here goes.
Well, there's a movement.
There was a movement, yeah. So I will move 1 back. Then I will shoot it for 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And I get a shield. I have all my shields. But then I will use my gun here, and if this is your second action this turn, you deal 2 damage instead. Nice. So I will deal 2 damage to it. So it's down to 1.
And you get to roll a die.
I do get to roll a die. So maybe if I get some movement, I have maximum. But if I got a movement, I could have used.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cooldown, flip, and down to 7 turns.
And then the enemies act again.
Yeah, so it's the yellow ones. Go to the yellow side.
All right, let's check that.
Newest player. Let's see here. 1, 2. Now it can see me. And so I get 1 damage.
I can see me as well, but you're nearer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm closer to the straight line than you are. So. And the most distant one for this one, 1, 2, 3, but it cannot reach that far. So.
Exactly.
Okay. So you also can go now.
Flip. We can both take a turn again.
Yeah. We need to dispatch of those guys there because they block the...
Let's have a look at them. They have 0 shields and 3 hit points. Okay, so just deal a lot of damage. Okay. All enemies within 2 spots. I could move a little bit and then deal 2 damage, but I want to deal more damage than 2 because they have 3. The sword, of course, just takes care of an enemy, but it doesn't let me move.
No.
This is ranged, of course. Just deals 2 damage, and that's it. Also 2. This one lets me deal a number, with dice, possibly more than 1 damage to an enemy within 3, and then it deals 1 damage to all characters adjacent. So
yeah, exactly. So the one behind is also.
I think I'll try that, and hopefully I'll roll, a +2, so I can take 1 out. All right, so yeah, that deals 1 damage. Unblockable, doesn't block anyway. To an enemy G within 3. Okay. And what is the bonus? The action only targets enemies. Okay, but that's okay because it's only enemies that are adjacent. All right. Let's roll the die. Be a +2. That's a +1. I guess
One
I'll
more?
take it. Yeah. And this one takes 1 damage. This one takes 2
Yeah.
damage. That was my first action. Now, to all enemies within 2. That's unfortunate. But I would need line of sight anyway with the shuriken, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Only I could move 1 spot. Let's think this through. I could.
It is always how it is. If only I could.
Yeah, I know. You need to make choices.
That's how it should be, yeah.
What does the interact do? Deal 1 damage to an adjacent enemy. But I do get to roll a die. So with the basic interact, maybe I could move. I'll try that.
Yeah.
Try the basic interact.
Good
if
try.
I roll a move. Come on, roll a move. Roll a move. That's a shield. I mean,
it's not the worst, but yeah, it's
could use a shield, but yeah, I'll focus. Gonna try and take it out. Just need a movement. Just need 1 movement. Yes, thank you. 1, 2. Oh, sorry, that's me. Yeah, that's.
Oh, you can. You
move
could even move 2, so you got in here.
right.
So
because I can
just to block.
You can. Is that something you can do? You can move 1, then deal the damage, and then move the rest.
Then move the second. Yes, exactly.
Oh, sweet.
So all your resources, you pour into the action, can then be executed in the order that you would like it to be.
Fantastic.
So that's how I take output randomness and makes it a lot more manageable.
Well, that's great. I took 1 out, and the other one is down to 2 hit points. So that's my 2 actions. This moves to the left. That means this card comes back to my hand. We move that. Yes, you're all doing that. I flip my token. Yeah. Oh, and after my free rest action,
you were not allowed to use it in this mission. You just put it there of affection value.
Oh, right. It's still on the ship. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's correct. It did say that I couldn't use it on this mission, which includes all of the sections of that mission. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's in training.
Okay, but we go to the self-destruct sequence. So let's see here. Number 1. Move 1 and 2. He needs to move 2. Then he can see you.
Oh, that's this one here.
Then he deals damage to you. Yeah. Let's take those. Oh.
Okay. That's 1. Oh, 3.
Ooh, sorry about that.
You rolled
3 damage.
3. I take 1 shield and then 2 damage cards, right? This is 1, so that would go here, and I get that card back into my hand, right? Or does
exactly.
Okay.
That's correct.
This goes back to my hand. This goes into 1. What does it say? When drawn, I lose 1 focus. Okay.
Yeah.
Do that first. And you place this card in spot 1. That's what I did. And then I do this. Let's see what this is. Flip that around. When drawn, place this card on spot number 1. Oh, that's good.
So it has to go on 2.
Oh, right. Okay, that doesn't. Yeah. Okay, it goes in 2.
It builds up. So
they have ongoing things that says, this one says you cannot utilize rerolls, and this one says in hard mode, movement cards are -1 with a minimum of 0. Okay.
So you could, that would suddenly make it very hard to escape, right? When you start to put those, if you play on hard mode, then suddenly
with a minor fracture in your leg, that does usually make it harder to run.
Exactly. So we have number 2. He goes to most distant player, so that would be you. 1, 2.
Yep.
Here.
Okay.
And then he deals damage to nearest character, but I am nearest because I am in a straight line and you are diagonal.
Exactly.
I'm orthogonal and you are diagonal.
So,
yeah. Okay.
But you have shields.
I have shields, yeah.
Oh.
And I need them, so 1, 2, and then a damage card. Ugh.
Oh no.
4.
Again, severe open wound.
Yeah.
And you put it on 4, but that is it. There's no ongoing effects.
There's no no, and there's nothing.
Okay.
Okay.
Tis but a scratch.
Yeah. Hopefully. In here, I think. Oh, you have taken your turn, so it
Yes.
needs to be me, right? Oh,
Yep.
that's no. I will punch this thing. Pretty sure.
Punch it.
Yeah, it's my first action. Maybe if I get a movement, then I will
6
try to get in position to shoot that other thing.
Mhm.
Otherwise, if I don't get, I will probably use something else. Okay, there's a shield. Yeah, I will take a shield, I will punch, and this one goes down.
Oh, okay,
I only had
so
one left.
did it already have damage, or?
Yeah, I shot it twice last turn, right? I
Oh,
shot it
right.
with my rifle and then with my gun, so it was
Exactly.
down to 1. And since it shot me, its cloaking was off, right? So I could.
Right, so you can see it, yes.
Good. Yeah. So I punched it in the face. I will use this one here. My
device again.
mess device here.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me some nice. And oh, that were nice. 2 shields
Nice.
and 2 movements. So I will move 1, and then this is in the end of my turn. So I will move you.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ah.
In here.
And you can move me through enemies. Well, I could.
Oh no,
go
but
diagonally.
you can.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So
I can go through this door and then back.
so and then you get 1 focus also.
I get a focus. Yay. Okay.
And then I do like this.
That moves.
We're down to 5 turns, and this, what was it, Camel starts shooting, so now it blows up there. We don't want to be there this turn or next turn.
Yep. We probably won't anyway, so the enemies go.
Let's see.
So
Yellow,
now...
yeah, so he's on self-destruct here. Good. He can... Nearest player, that's you, and he targets you for 1 damage.
1 damage, so...
Luckily, he's tiny.
Yeah, I do take a wound then. Take another wound. Let's see what this is. Spot 3, when drawn, lose 1 focus. There goes the focus again. And place this guard on slot 3. The ongoing effect is you cannot utilize rerolls on hard mode. Okay. Yeah, I already have that.
That's it. Oh, and then the orange one also activates as the second character because he goes after. Most distant. Well, it cannot move any closer.
Exactly.
So it's standing there, and then it shoots nearest player, so that's you.
That's me again.
Oh
no.
You roll this time. You roll 2 dice.
Oh yeah, that one has a okay, 2 dice.
I don't want to be responsible for you going down.
Yeah,
and
I thought
jumping
so,
out
of
the
course.
ship.
Oh, that's 2.
Okay. Yeah.
1. That might
whoa.
be... Oh, it's a 0. That's good.
Yeah.
When drawn, lose 1 focus on 1 shield. Well, I'm at 0 anyway, and then you discard because it's a 0.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. That's nothing actually.
Oh,
and
that's
then
good.
Let's see what this is. That's a spot 2. Head trauma. When drawn, place this card on spot 2, which it cannot. So I place it on 4.
Yeah. Okay, so that means 1 more damage. Where if you cannot put it down, which unless it's 0, then you will be unconscious. Yeah.
Oh no. Okay.
Hey,
that's the enemies. We refresh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can gun that one down.
Please do.
I will have to end my turn, but then at least we are kind of more safe. I will use a basic move. I need to get a bit. No, I will just use a basic interact, and if I can hit him with a, there's not much to do here, I think.
2 movement.
Okay.
It's nice.
And then I will hit him for 1.
For 1 damage, which is enough.
It's not enough to kill him, but he's...
Wait, he's done on...
I just turned it... Yeah, I just switched it down. It was on 2.
Oh,
it's just me who was a bit fast on...
okay.
Okay. But my
That's
pulse minigun here will have to save us because I have 1 of these left.
Plus 1 damage and 2 range.
Yeah.
Deal 5 damage to an enemy. Plus 1, to an enemy. Okay, so
6.
you can insta-kill this one.
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Fantastic.
but I don't get any rest. So
No.
but let me see here. Immediately end your current turn. So yeah.
Well, it was your second action, so
it was the most optimal it could be.
yes, that was actually very good.
Yeah. 4. So now we have the yellow enemy.
Yeah, and we do need to take them all out, or do we not? No.
No, we just need to run, but he's
get out of the ship. Yeah, exactly.
So he will shoot nearest, move to nearest, and then shoot nearest. And since I was, I damaged him last turn, so he will use this one. I damaged him last turn. I'm sorry. That's I should not have done that. That's stupid.
What happened?
Because you see here, if the activated enemy was damaged last player turn, use exclamation mark. That means the third row instead of his usual one. So now he moves to nearest player. He's already standing adjacent to us, right?
Both of us, yeah.
Then he deals 2 unblockable damage to all adjacent players, and then 1 to himself. So he kills himself, but he also deals 2 damage. I'm sorry about that. That's
oh, no.
That was not how.
So I take 2 damage then. Do we still do that now?
And I also take 2 damage, and he kills himself.
I'll start. Oh gosh. Let's see what this is. It's a 0.
Okay.
So when drawn, move a wound card 1 card to the right, which I can't.
Cannot do, no.
So this just gets discarded. Okay. Lucky there. Does this do? That's a 1.
Sorry. Yeah.
You place this on 1. So what happens now? I can't
then
place
this one is just discarded. You cannot put it anywhere, so it's discarded, but you are now unconscious. Which means you just flip your activation token.
Yeah.
But then I also have to, if I get a 4 and then then or 3.
That's a 0.
Okay, that's a 0.
Minor internal bleeding.
And then another one here, 2.
Oof. Well, that's free. So you get that card back, and you put that there. Move an action card 1 spot to the right, which you can't do.
Oh, I couldn't do that, no.
And you can't gain shields, but we don't need shields anymore, so that's fine. And you're at max.
Yeah. So I will flip mine, and then I will have to come and heal you.
Rest me,
so,
yeah. Okay.
I will just do a basic move. 1, and I don't need anything from that.
Yeah.
And then I will do the
basic interact
on you, which can be used to heal an adjacent unconscious character. So I want to get a plus something high, not a shield. I want to get something.
Yeah. Please do a +1.
Yeah. So you can take 2 damage off your track.
And I can choose which ones?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
All right. So we have one that was, let's see.
Definitely high ones you want to, but yeah.
This is range on card. That's not bad. I can keep that. You cannot utilize rerolls. Well, I'm out of focus anyway. Movement -1. That one goes away. Oh, what am I doing? Put that down. And this one was almost done anyway, so I'll get rid of that one too. Yep. So that's 2 healed. I'm conscious again. Thank you very much.
I flip this one, and we are down to 3. Now it's getting tricky because now it's open.
Right.
We just have to jump out. You have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, we actually have to go out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 8 spots. Well, I do have.
It would be best if you move, because then you're further away from me, and I can do the speed up with my,
Okay, I have the dodge and bolt. You move a number, so I can roll either pluses and movements. So I'll use that first.
You can use maybe use a inspiring token or something, or
an ally gains 2. I could, yeah, absolutely.
Or you can use the movement thing there also.
Sure.
Because if you move me closer, then it's also, of course.
Yeah. Okay, I'll spend the blue one. Okay, can I spend both?
No, only 1 upgrade per action.
Okay. So I'll move you one spot later on, of course, after I've moved.
Mhm.
So I'll
Yeah.
grab these 3 here. All right, here we go. +2, +2, +2. Okay, I don't have any focus, so that's just 2. 1, 2. I can move you 1 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't too good, but I do get a shield.
Mm.
I think, right? There's nothing that can...
Yeah.
No. That's the first action. Then I'll do the movement for the second action, basic move. That's 1 movement and 1 die. Okay. This one. 2 movement extra. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
I get this one back. I get a free rest action. That means this is discarded. I flip this token and I move this one. We might still make this. Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, we have 1 turn each then.
Yep.
Though it's really stupid. Oh my.
Do you have
I mean, I
something that
think it
moves
would
up?
have been less hurtful just to have him hit us for 1, every now and then. But
Well, you
here
do
we
have
are.
the +2 movement when you're more than 2 spots away from me.
So my first move will be quite good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. But how am I going to get the last 4?
You also need
I need to get 5 on the first one then.
Yes, 8.
I have no rerolls. This is... But
dire.
yeah, that is actually like... you can only move an ally on this card. Can I move an ally on any other card? I could almost push you out the door. Then I would be able to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey DC, welcome in.
Okay.
Yeah, you've missed quite a bit. We're almost done. But you can watch the VOD. It's nail biting, DC. It's nail biting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay,
You got
so
5?
now I just...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got 5 because I had this
and
extra
the +2.
from mine.
Sweet.
So now I just need a +2 or a 2 movement
Double
on this
movement.
one. So yeah, and I have only... Okay, I will use this one here
you and an ally gain a focus to reroll.
But I can only spend that afterwards because the die and the token is part of my resources, right? So I cannot use it to...
that afterwards. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I understand.
Otherwise, should I use it on the first turn? We could also just pretend, but let's see if I can get it.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Oi, 1. Get out of here. Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So it's you. You have everything to win. I will just paint the scar.
I will use the basic move action, which lets me roll 1 die. I'll use this die. Roll that. That's a +1, so that's 2 movement, which is enough to move outside of the hull.
So, no, that's me.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it's not
it doesn't. It doesn't matter because you have a second turn, of course. So.
I do. I kind of want to help you though. Can I do anything to drag you along?
Well, some characters have that, and several get those upgrades. So it's possible for many, including my character, right? But
yeah.
And yours is just not, as focused on other people, the puny humans. That's dying.
Yeah, there's the action. There's nothing I could do. I have the green thing, but that's just for dealing damage and stuff like that. Oh no. Yeah. Well, then my second action is also going to be the basic move.
Oh, go save yourself.
Yeah. Roll it just to see what I roll. I could. I move 2. If I only could drag you with me, I would have.
Yeah.
Bye! Bye! As I float off into space.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we have the last A1 here. 8A, I mean.
All right.
So yeah.
You jump through the hole in the freighter's wall. Though the suit is made for temporary spacewalking, you must be picked up fast to avoid the freezing temperature of the cold space surrounding you. Half a minute later, the crew manages to pick you up through the open ramp of the cargo bay. And we see the ship crash into the moon with you still on it. Paradis says, I got you, Commander. Good to have you back on board. Camriel, we got them all. Oh, we do? We better make a
Kind of.
rendezvous with the Border Patrol and explain what happened. And after a debrief with the Arsinian Border Patrol, you are stationed for a few more uneventful patrols until the 7th rotation before being able to go back to Kaisar. As soon as you dock, you go to visit Tessa at Abesk. Tessa says in person, Good to see you again, Commander. I've been briefed on your encounter by the Ursanians. It sounds like they're also getting a bit worked up about these loose cyborgs. Ayena says, Who can blame them at this point? I feel I've been talking to deaf ears for weeks now. I understand your concerns, Ayeni, but you must realize we don't work after the same gut feelings as you do. However, it's clear to me that the Reavers are up to something beyond a mere recovery from their defeat at Ice Serpent. Something else is behind all of this. Unfortunately, I can't get any more resources at this point, so we might have to think of some alternatives. I'll keep you informed about when and how this can be resolved. Until then, I hope to see you around. All right, and then at the end, we get to add something to our sheets.
Yeah. These here where you would also paint, so the different elements keep track on, and the campaign keep track on your allegiance with different characters and factions and different memory dots for what you have done. Yeah. And then, of course, I would paint a scar on my character here, because characters cannot be killed in mission, they can only be killed between missions. So if you have to be pulled out of the burning building enough, then you will die at some point.
Oh, so right.
Another character will have to replace you, right?
So you're still there, you're still alive, but you have a...
I got a scar from this. And there are many where you are in a firefight to the very end, or you have some other encounter, and therefore you can receive scars.
Interesting.
You know, during missions for different elements. And then your character will slowly, you know, become vulnerable to death.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Okay. Well, thank you, Emil, so much for this awesome playthrough. It's been very exciting and nail-biting. And thank you, everybody in chat, for being here. Again, if you have any questions, there is a Discord. Just go to the website. There's also going to be a link in the description below on YouTube. And that website will have links to the Kickstarter page where you can sign up to get notified when the Kickstarter goes live in September this year. There's also a link to Emil's Discord where you can ask questions, and you can also see his progress. He will post updates and also when there's playthroughs planned and stuff like that. So if you're interested, go check that out. I will switch back to the full camera. I will say goodbye and we'll raid out somewhere else. So for now, thank you, Emil, so much for having been here.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And we'll see you one another again on a different playthrough, perhaps.
Thank you for the very kind words.
It's been very nail-biting. It's an awesome experience. All right. Thanks, Emil. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.